Kingdom Radio. Kingdom Radio.
Hello, everybody. This is Jennifer Cruz, and this is Voice of an Angel. So today we have a very special guest, but before we go on into our program, we want to be able to listen to one of her beautiful songs. So can we have one of her songs, please? Thank you.
Kingdom Radio. Kingdom Radio. Kingdom Radio. Kingdom Radio. 94.9 FM. Kingdom Radio. Kingdom Radio. Kingdom Radio.
The Bishop.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Kingdom Radio 94.9 FM in collaboration with Stars of Our Generation present to you the Youth Empowerment Kingdom Project with the team, The Youth is the Future. And this project entails grooming a new generation of seasoned and well-bred professionals, building a generation of honorable leaders for our tomorrow, giving opportunities to youth to fulfill a destiny that could be otherwise disrupted, providing opportunities for legacy building for our future. Please join us to raise the leaders of our tomorrow. For sponsorship and support, contact us on stargeneration2017@gmail.com or Kingdom Radio 94.9 FM @gmail.com. And always tune in to Kingdom Radio 94.9 FM stereo. 94.9 FM Sweden. We're giving you the best.
Lord, I know you have always been there for me. I love you so much, I'm weak, I can hardly speak. I can hide under your wings when the nights are colder. Nothing can harm me, no weapon that's formed shall prosper. Lord, I know you are there holding my hand. My pain and my fears you will always understand. You are so faithful to me, oh great Jehovah. When I am weak, your compassion makes me stronger. No one can ever take your place. I love you. I love you.
Kingdom Radio.
Hello, everybody. We're back again. Like I said, my name is Jennifer Cruz. I'm your presenter for this special show, Voice of an Angel. The Voice of an Angel. We have so many angels all over the world, and today we have a special one, a very fantastic and amazing lady. Her name is Pricillia Bailey. She's here today to tell us about her journey, how far she has gone in her ministry, her gospel singing ministry. She's a composer, she's a writer, and she's also a singer of the gospel music. So today we're going to invite her in to come in to give us all and tell us all she has been up to. Minister Pricillia, can you come in, please?
Hi there.
Hello.
Hi, Jennifer.
Hi, Pricillia.
Hi to everyone
How
listening.
are you?
I'm fine, thank you.
Okay, that's great. So Sister Pricillia is all the way from the UK on our show today, Voice of an Angel. So Sister Pricillia, before we go on, we want you to be able to tell us, introduce yourself a bit, tell us about who you really are.
Okay, so I'm Pricillia Bailey. I'm a UK gospel artist. I'm based in Essex in the UK. I've been singing for quite a number of years, but I especially started singing for God when I became a Christian in 2001. My music is very much a fusion of different genres, but mainly R&B and soul music.
Okay. So now, meaning that you've been singing professionally for a while now.
Yeah. So, you want me to talk about my journey? So I really started from singing in worship team in church around 2004, and then I was invited to sing with an outreach team. We did a lot of outreaches, I'd say once every month, to the public, and we were getting a lot of feedback about the songs that we were doing, because we basically putting Christian lyrics to a lot of popular songs, and inviting people to church, and a lot of people were being prayed for, and we told them our testimonies and things like that. So it was really good, and I think it was a really good solid foundation for me and where I am today. I joined a gospel choir a bit later on, and to say around 2008, 2009, and we travelled extensively through the UK, doing a lot of public and private events. And again, it was about sharing testimonies and talking of God's goodness, and just basically ministering to people. And it was quite a good experience. It gave a lot of vocal training that I needed. And then, from there, I started to venture on my own around 2014. And I was invited to a studio that my friend had at home, and I started to record music in a studio. So that's where it kind of started as a solo career for me.
Oh, that's great. That's great. Wonderful. It's nice to have you on the show today.
Oh, thank you. It's really nice to be invited. Thank you.
Yeah. So, wait, can I ask you, where are you from originally?
Yeah, sure. So I was born in Birmingham, West Midlands, second generation of British born. My dad was from Jamaica originally, and he came here when he was about 12 years old.
Wow.
Then my mother was born in Manchester in England, but her parents were from St. Kitts and Nevis in the Caribbean.
Okay. So it's nice to meet you today. Very nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
Okay. So now I have these cards here, okay?
Oh, yeah.
Because we're gonna ask you questions. We want to know a bit about your journey, because Voice of an Angel, it's all about your journey as an artist, okay?
Yeah.
A gospel artist. So we want you to go back in time, walk down memory lane, and tell us, things about your ministry that, many people don't know about, okay? So that's what Voice of an Angel is all about, going back in time, a walk down memory lane. So now what I want you to do is to be able to pick, I have several cards here. I want you to pick a number, just pick a number, and then we'll ask you the question on that number. So pick one.
All right, I'm going to be boring and pick number 2 first.
Number 2. Number 2. Okay, then. That's great. So do you have a mentor, and why this person? A mentor in your ministry, and why this person?
Okay, so I'd say not all the way through the journey, but at the very beginning, when I was having vocal training, I went to a music teacher called Marcia Escoffi, and she actually was part of a gospel group in the 80s. She was very instrumental in getting my true voice out, and she really impacted me quite a a lot because she was talking about me sounding like Pricillia. This is the voice that God's given me, and how important it is to just keep that authentic sound and not try and sound like, you know, the singers. It's good to be influenced by the singers, but, you know, I need to sound like me. So I think that stuck with me throughout the journey from then. That's something that keeps me going.
Okay, that's great. That's really great. Because you find out that most artists, sometimes they sound like another artist. Okay? It's like somebody sounding like Mariah Carey. I've had an artist once. She sounded like a carbon copy of Mariah Carey. And I was like, is this Mariah Carey or it's Mariah Carey's sister?
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
And then
it's hard. Yeah, go on. Sorry.
Go on. It's like not having your own identity as an artist. Can we talk a bit about that? Having your own identity as an artist.
Yeah.
What do you think about that?
Yeah, I think it's when you know who you are and you know your sound, it's then easy for you to be set apart. That is your specific sound, and you are ministering in a certain way, because God's got specific people for you to minister to as well. And so they may be attracted to your voice, the tone of voice, the words, the lyrics that are coming through your songs and what you've got to say. So I think it's very important to keep authentic and keep your identity, and try and sound like the people, because then it becomes very confusing. Like you said, you're thinking, is this Mariah Carey's sister or whatever? So, and then, you're kind of lost in someone else's persona.
Yeah, that's true. You can't keep it on for so long.
It's like I said, it's good to be influenced with Michael Jackson, who was very influenced by James Brown, so he got his moves and everything from that era. But then he eventually developed into the Michael Jackson sound that we know and love. So yeah, I think if we can at least use that as a kind of training and then kind of learn who we are, how we should sound, etc. from there, I think that's the best way to go.
That's the best way. Because the world needs to know who we really are.
Yeah.
What God has actually deposited in you, you know. You owe the world to give the world this, not to give the world another copy of someone else.
That's
so
true.
We actually have to find out who we really are to be able to give out who we are to the world.
Yeah. That's true. Yeah, it's very important, and it encourages others who then, you know, when they decide to become Christians themselves, it encourages them to find out who they are in Christ.
Yeah, that's who we are. Amen. Okay, so now picking out the number, which one do you want?
So I'm gonna go with number 6.
Okay. I hope you're not picking the simple ones out. Okay, then. So, do you have an old artist that has influenced your singing in your journey as an artist? An old artist.
Older than how old does it matter? Does it matter if it's like from the 80s or 90s?
Yeah, whatever age, you know, it's like maybe in the 70s, in the 60s, in the 80s, in the 90s.
Excellent,
you know, artists you've listened to and you've really enjoyed them, and it's like they've really influenced the way you sing right now.
Yeah, I think very heavily influenced by Mary J. Blige, if I'm honest. When back in the days when I was clubbing and everything, it was always about Mary J. Blige. But I really liked her heart and her passion and the tone of voice that she had. And I think it's something that I always wanted to emulate to her. And others, my mother used to have a huge record collection, and it had a lot of Motown artists. So people like Diana Ross, I loved to bits, and Michael Jackson and Jackson 5. But yeah, I'd say those in those categories. But then in terms of gospel, I'd say Kirk Franklin.
Okay.
Stomp Days. And let me see. I enjoy listening to other people as well, like Kiera Sheard and Tamala Mann.
Okay. So do you think one way or the other, these people have influenced the way you sing also?
I believe so. I think in their creativity, particularly when I'm thinking about the style that Mary J has, she's more jazzy, which is kind of where I fit in. So in terms of improvisation and going with the flow and just being like really high energy, that's coming from like Kirk Franklin and the Jacksons and things. So the performance side is, I think, from them. That's the influence that they bring for me. Okay.
But somehow you have found your own footing in the midst of all this, influences.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. That's true.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So I'm going to ask you a question about your producer, okay? Because we want to see your producer soon, what your producer has to say about your music, okay? So we're going to ask a question about your producer, okay?
Right.
Because I want to say, as your producer, who is your producer? Do you have several producers or you just have one?
Through this journey, I've had several. So when I started my first projects, it was Tony Young Beats, a young producer in the West Midlands. And then when I moved to Essex, I kind of reached out to SEB, and she's a young lady. You might see a theme there. I always go for very young producers. I just find that they're very, they're full of ideas and they always bring something new. So that's why I like working with them. And obviously to give them a chance of just producing with artists like myself, I think it's very good to encourage young people to follow their passion.
Okay, that's great. That's great. Now, what you just said now, does it mean that with the new producers that you think or you feel you should work with right now, they help to tailor and to help you, like do some instructions?
The signal go.
Can you hear me? Hello?
Kingdom Radio.
Make the best it. Oh, 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 oh. Stop it, stop it. Get home.
Okay, thank you so much. We're back. Hey, Pricillia. Hi.
Internet.
Yeah. Now, we were talking about your producer, okay?
Yeah.
That you like to work with new producers. Now, is it that they help you tailor your music to, what's in vogue right now, or why do you actually really want them to help you with your music?
Okay, so like I said, it's more about creating opportunities. To be honest, it's something that I've always had in my heart. I love to work with young people anyway. But in terms of, like I said, they bring a vibrancy to the music and some new ideas. And it's not always about keeping on trend for me, because I already know what I want. And
okay,
I think for them, it's just kind of introducing a couple of ideas in the music themselves, because I'm not a musician, I can't play any instruments, so they may add certain instruments in there that kind of brighten the music up a little bit, and I think, oh, I've never really considered that before. So it's that kind of thing that I enjoy, and that's why I work with mainly young producers.
yeah, but when we're talking about experience, people have been in the business for so long, they have this experience, a whole lot of experience that probably these new ones might not have. Do you look at it in that direction?
Yeah, I mean, when I was working with Tony Young Beats, he had someone who was more senior, so he would kind of check things as he went along. But I generally, I liked the way that we worked, because I'd come up with something, then he'd come up with something, and then be something like really quite unique. And so I think the experience isn't really so much of a thing for me. But I always pick people who've had, don't get me wrong, they have had a lot of experience themselves. They've introduced music to, the BBC and things like that. So I already know their background before working with them.
Okay.
But it's a case of, like I said, just the energy and the vibrancy and the ideas that they come with.
Okay. All right. That's great. So before we talk about I saw something about your nomination. You have a nomination going on right now for an award.
Yeah.
Okay,
so it's the Gospel Explosion Awards. The Gospel Explosion Awards. And so it's for music and media, I believe. And there are a lot of nominees in the categories, but I've been picked for Best Female Artist this year.
Okay, so everybody needs to go and vote for you. Everybody, please go and vote for her. She has to win that award. We're all going to vote for you, okay? I've done my voting already. I've voted already, so we're asking everybody out there, to do their own voting also, okay?
Yeah, okay. Yeah, so if you wanted to vote, go to www.thegxawards.com.
Again, say it again, please.
www.thegxawards.com.
Okay, so please take note of that. Everybody go in there, and if you want to really know about this address, if you can't get it off head like this, you can go to her page, Pricillia Bailey, and get that link and vote for her. She has to win that award. Okay. Okay. So also, we saw something about a single. Do you have a single on right now, or you just?
I've got two. I've got two singles out at the moment. So one of them was supposed to be released last year, and to be honest, because of COVID and everything, it was just, it wasn't possible. So with I'd done another. I'd been in the studio again this year, recording another song. And I thought I might as well release them both. So that's what I did. So one is called I Love You by SEB, and myself as the singer. And the other one is called Lift Your Hands Up. And it's by a producer called Venus Beats.
Okay. So both of them are out there right now. They're on Spotify and all over Amazon. Are they on there?
On Amazon, iTunes, Pandora, Deezer, everywhere. They're everywhere.
Okay. So people can go in there and listen to the music, okay? Download it, spread it around, share it. This is a new sound in town. Everybody has to hear about it. That's it.
That's right. Thank you.
Yeah. So we're gonna go on to listening to your producer right now. We want to hear what she has to say about your ministry and your journey so far with her. Let's hear the producer. So before the producer,
I would like to tell you about my friend Pricillia Bailey. She's a fantastic artist. She's got a beautiful, stunning, gorgeous voice, and I've seen her sing in various different places. She used to sing in the worship team in King Standing Church. She used to be a singing teacher for the youth at King Standing Church. She sang with a gospel choir in Birmingham Town Hall. She did solo there, and she sang with a gospel choir in Birmingham Market as well. And I've seen her perform with a gospel choir on the TV on Songs of Praise a few times. She's got a fantastic, rich, beautiful voice, and it comes out so natural and so powerful. And she's done CDs as well. She's done phenomenally well. Thank you.
SCB, and I'm the composer producer of Pricillia Bailey's track called I Love You. I've known Pricillia about 3 years, according to Facebook. Yeah. My experience with Pricillia has always been a pleasurable one, a fun one, a creative one. I think she is an amazing singer-songwriter, and I love her voice. And I felt so privileged to be asked to produce a track for her. And yeah, it's just lots of vibes all around, and just musically inclined people working together. So the track I produced for Pricillia, I Love You, she had Portuguese and Spanish, I think, in her choruses, and so she wanted to have that salsa vibe. But she's also a very soulful singer, and I think she is a very R&B type of singer as well. So the track had to encompass quite a few genres. So I think it's a mixture of R&B, salsa, and a bit of soul too, I would say. So yeah. Was it challenging? I think at times a little bit for myself, because I wouldn't say I have like a salsa background or that I've produced anything with salsa. I think the last time I tried to produce anything with a salsa influence was in secondary school, because you had to choose one genre to do, and it was like, the sort of unusual genres like salsa, blues, jazz, genres that are still popular today, but not necessarily in like the popular charts, you know. So I would say it broadened my horizons, and it was a challenge that I enjoyed doing and taking on. So Pricillia definitely had her own ideas on how she wanted this track to sound. I think we both worked together really to bring the essence of the track to what it is now. And she allowed me lots of room to come up with melodies and, motifs and harmonies as well to put on the track. So it was definitely a 50-50 collaboration. I think we worked both our ideas into it. But, it's always my aim as a producer to bring out the artist's vision and to bring their song to life. So hopefully we did that, and I believe we did. I mean, it's out now. So I know that Pricillia actually comes from like a jazzy, soulful background. So she is very of the contemporary jazz, neo soul, R&B, all rolled into one, with a hint of salsa now. So yeah, she's very, very soulful singer, I would say. And I think her voice is quite unique. I think Pricillia is a very lovely lady, a woman of faith. I think that she...
Kingdom Radio.
You're on mute.
Yeah, sorry there.
That's okay.
Okay, so we've heard from your producer and we've also heard from your friend. Tell us about your music and what you've been up to and the journey so far. Okay, so that's very great. According to your producer, she has really worked with you and it has really been a very good time together trying to, produce the music and make it sound as nice as possible. Also, she told us about your background, the kind of background you mean. This is someone that kind of knows you. It's not someone that just, okay, you want to do music, let's do it. So tell us a bit about this producer, this particular producer you have.
So I've heard her name around the circuit for a while because she was working with another artist who I'm friends with. He kind of has veered away a little bit now from gospel, but at the time she'd worked on a few tracks which had then been played on BBC. I think it was BBC Asia or something, and then some other radio show by the BBC. She started to work with other artists that I recognised, and I really liked her production. So I reached out to her, and we just kind of started talking from there. It wasn't until not last year, the year before, we started to record together. So I did probably 2 songs with her, but I've decided to release this one first. And as she said, she she wasn't 100% about the salsa sound, but I think she's nailed it. I think she really did a good job on the song.
Oh, that's great. That's great. So you're satisfied? You're satisfied with this artist? I mean, with this producer?
Say that again?
Are you satisfied with this producer? The job she's done for you? Are you okay with the job she's done?
Oh yes, I'm absolutely. I'm so happy that I worked with her, and we may do some other projects in the future. But yeah, I'm really happy to have picked Essie, and she's got a really good reputation. So you know, I think it's great to give her opportunities as much as possible, because her heart is very much for gospel music, and there aren't many out there, especially younger producers. They kind of get snapped up and go into other genres. So it's kind of nice to keep encouraging her to do, you know, gospel styles and things.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. So now another question. I don't know why it's echoing. It's echoing now here. Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay. So in your ministry so far, have you had some challenges that have made you look back and say, I don't think I can go on?
Yeah, I've had many of those. To be honest, when I started to do solo, I was very scared because I didn't have the people from the choir behind me, the worship team behind me. I was there on my own, and that was a very daunting thing for me. So I had doubts. I've had doubts about my voice. I've had doubts about whether people would enjoy my music. But I think probably there was two challenging things. I think was entering the studio, the recording studio, because before I was always on the stage with a microphone, live band behind me, and just going with the flow. And it was just, you know, I was in my zone. But going into a studio, everything is so much more structured, and I was just like, right, now I have to think of layering the voice and then putting harmonies on it, and then thinking of ad-libs, and you know, it was very intense, I think, experience at the beginning. I think the other challenge was when I'd lost my father around 2013. That was a huge challenge for me to even sing again. But through the encouragement of, I'll say her name, Juliet, who is the person who invited me to her studio in the first place, I started to record and put things down in the studio. But yeah, it was very hard to keep going. But through encouragement and obviously through my faith, I continued.
That's wonderful.
Yeah, we thank God.
So another thing I want to find out, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay. In your ministry so far, because you told us about you were singing initially, you know, not gospel, you were singing non-gospel music. Now you're singing gospel music. So now this kind of transition for you, how has it been?
Okay, so to be honest, I was singing gospel music and non-gospel music around a similar time. So I'd started leading a jazz band in around 2010, I'd say 2011. And I was doing covers of popular songs and jazz standards and things like that. So I used to go to jazz clubs as well. To be honest, I don't know if my heart was in it, but I think I learned a lot from it because I really enjoyed hearing the sound of jazz, and I loved Ella Fitzgerald and her songs. So I kind of found it very relaxing style of music, and some things really suited my voice quite a lot. So I think I developed a kind of singing style from that as well. And thankfully, I could then incorporate it into my own gospel singing.
Okay, so it has given you a lot of experience.
That gave me a lot of experience. I learned how to do, for example, things like scats, and you know, and people are just kind of singing different sounds like you know, that kind of thing, and kind of just introducing those kind of things into music. So it was very nice to learn how jazz singers sang and how they put together their compositions and things. It was a nice learning experience.
I actually see you going.
Oh, thank you, Jenny. Thank you, Jennifer.
Yeah, I see you doing things that, normally different, different people, different artists, maybe probably a combination of people from the world and people in the gospel, bringing them together and joining them together. It gives you a different feel about what we're singing and what we're doing. You
True.
understand?
That's very true. Yeah.
Yeah. It defines you, gives you another, it's like another, would I say, platform and another, it's inspirational, changes your look altogether.
Yeah.
So it's a
And I
good
think,
one.
yeah, I think opens me to a different type of audience as well. So, yeah, I agree. I think it's been very valuable. And I
Yeah,
don't think any experience is wasted. I think God uses everything.
yeah,
So,
yeah. So, but one thing we want to be able to say as gospel artists, sometimes we feel as if, okay, I mean, if we're not listening Christian music, we shouldn't listen to any other kind of music, okay? But I think that's a mistake. You have to listen to all kinds of music to be able to learn one thing or the other from them.
yeah, definitely. I totally agree.
Yeah.
I totally agree. I think with the exception of certain songs that a little bit, the topics are a little bit dodgy. Yeah, I totally agree with that.
Yeah, that's it. So it's been very nice having you on our show today. We appreciate you. We've heard from your friends, we've heard from your producer. So we kind of have an idea of the journey so far. We've gone down memory lane to see how far and how well you've gone. And we see that you've gone well, at least up
Thank
to the
you.
moment.
Yeah. I just thank God every day, because sometimes I have to pinch myself at how far I've got. He's really brought me far.
Yeah. And it's going to take you further. You're going further and further and better and better.
Yeah.
In Jesus' name.
In Jesus'
Amen.
name.
Amen. Okay. So now before we go, we want you to appreciate some people. Who do you want to appreciate in your music ministry? How far you've gone your journey? Do you have some people to appreciate?
Yeah. Okay. So of course I want to appreciate God, but then I want to appreciate my mother, who unfortunately passed away in 2019. She was a big supporter of mine, and was always following me around and helping promote my music. And yes, I want to thank my gran, who was very instrumental in starting my music when I was very young. She knew the calling that God had on my life, so I want to thank her. And then, yes, all the people that have listened to my music, bought my music, been at my performances, a big shout out to them.
So tell us, where can we find you? On Facebook, on Instagram, tell us where we can find you.
Yeah, so my Twitter handle is Pricillia B Music, and Facebook and Instagram are Pricillia Bailey Music. So yes, I also have a website which is priscillabailey.co.uk. And if you can't remember any of those, just put Pricillia Bailey into Google search and my name will come up. But I also have a YouTube, so you can find me through that as well.
So please subscribe to Pricillia Bailey. Go to her Facebook, follow her on her Twitter handle, everywhere, so you can get updates on Pricillia's ministry, because it's gonna bless you real good. Amen.
Amen.
So thank you. Amen. Thank you so much, Pricillia, for being a part of this show today. It has really been inspirational. It has really been wonderful. Thank you for being here.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Jennifer. And I really enjoyed today's interview.
Yeah, thank you. So see you some other time, because we have other shows coming up. So we'll let you know as time goes on, so you can incorporate with us and do things with us.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Okay, no problem. All right, take care. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye everyone.
Kingdom Radio.
the message. Just count your blessings. Just count your blessings. Don't lose hope if things don't go your way. Oh.